Hello, Okanagan Fruit Tree Project representatives. Matthew, Omar, Seth, Nicholas, and I are here to show you our strategy for getting more delivery drivers. As you have communicated, there is a lack of drivers. Our purpose is to help you to come up with a strategy to spread awareness to potential volunteers, namely those through the use of signs and targeting your audience to communicate this. Matthew will describe your organization as we understand it. Then I will identify your issue. Next, Omar will specify the audience that we believe that you should target. Seth will detail an appropriate solution. And finally, Nick will illustrate how to implement that strategy. And with that being said, take it away, Matthew.
The Okanagan Fruit Tree Project is a volunteer-based, not-for-profit organization with aims to build and provide for its local community. The various programs created since the project's 2012 establishment aims to collect produce from farmers and tree owners that would not otherwise have the means to do so. This produce can then be distributed to the many schools and social service agencies in need within the Okanagan, fighting against the steadily increasing issue of food insecurity in Canada. The welcoming environment and positive feedback has formed a diverse volunteer base of all ages and backgrounds. These volunteers are the fuel of these efforts, spreading awareness, harvesting and preparing the produce, and finally delivering the produce to those that need it most. It is these efforts that has continually grown the organization's client and volunteer base, looking to better serve their community. I will now hand it off to Jacob to identify the problem that we are trying to solve.
Thank you, Matthew, for the outline of the organization. Now on to the problem. Over this year, there isn't enough drivers for the Fruit Tree Project. And without the drivers, the Fruit Tree Project cannot transport their goods and spread their services, especially when they need to transport their juice and, well, fruits to their locations and to other locations that will sell the juices. This is a main problem because with this year of COVID, they aren't able to hire drivers and they're only relying on the people who they have right now. With drivers being one of the main sources of both their funds by getting stuff to places and, well, transport, they aren't able to do stuff as efficiently. Now handing it off to Omar, who will give a detailed report of the audience that we wish to reach.
Who are the people that we're trying to reach? Generally, anyone with a car. However, targeted advertising allows us to specify the material to target specific people who are more likely to volunteer, thus increasing the public's engagement. The more specific targets for this advertisement campaign are people with more suitable vehicles and/or people of faith. To illustrate, people that have more suitable vehicles, such as trucks or vans, are sure to increase productivity in harvests, therefore requiring less overall drivers. People of faith, on the other hand, usually very open to contributing to their communities or helping their community find someone who can.
Thank you, Omar, for so beautifully identifying our audience. I will now cover our solution. Our idea is to use road signs. This would directly target the desired audience, as people who are on the road generally drive. No matter if some people tend to ignore road signs, most don't. And even if they do ignore it, at least they saw it. Here, we've included some examples of road signs. I made these, so they're not perfect, but they're a good starting point. The key to a good road sign is an effective slogan. This one here, contribute to your community, deliver produce to those in need, appeals to people's emotions. For example, they may start to think, why does my community need this? And decide to do more research. Help us deliver produce. All you need is a vehicle. Gets people thinking. This one tells people exactly what to do, but leaves them with the question of who needs it. So whichever appeal you want to go for is up to you. Just make sure you don't fall into some traps, like making the ad too simple or too sad. For example, the Sarah McLachlan animal cruelty advertisement. If you decide to Google that one, make sure you grab some tissues. The most important thing to have in a slogan is a short call to action that makes the audience want to learn more. Also, The road sign doesn't have to be on a billboard as pictured here. This is just a simple mock-up of what can be achieved with an infinite budget.
Thank you, Seth, for the summary of our well put together solution. With our main source of presenting awareness and the need of assistance are with visuals, we need to place strategically on the locations and whereabouts these signs may be placed. As our members have clarified before, our targeted audience are drivers. One of these locations we have come to the conclusion with are signs within many different varieties of automobile facilities, such as mechanic shops or dealerships, as it yet again is targeted to that specific audience. The other locations for signs that we have concluded, considering that drivers are quite common amongst the road signs would be great to give awareness and possibly some new hands to assist you in your volunteering program. Placing these signs in moderate trafficked and well-populated areas to spread the word as efficiently as possible. This area in particular is to the side of any intersection within the city's rules and regulations, of course, as it comes to the attention of drivers who may be scanning the area before the light permits them to continue on their way. Of course, when it comes to these strategical placements, we need to consider the steps before furthering through the placement. Firstly, consulting the idea with the business or private landowner and formally asking for their permission to place your sign. This includes city property as well. Lastly, before placing your sign, it is important to take into account and follow the Regional Sign Bylaw number 0183 to ensure no breach in the city's bylaws against public place signs.
Through the use of signs to bring awareness to your targeted audience, being those of the car and people of faith, we are sure that this is an effective strategy. Through the use of well-placed signs throughout the Okanagan Valley, we believe that this is a surefire way to attract more drivers, almost as flies to spoiled fruit, unlike the fruit that the drivers would deliver. Now is the time to place road signs at mechanic shops to secure volunteers. This will raise the number of drivers and help Okanagan Fruit Tree to expand far beyond what anyone could have imagined since its 2012 inception. We would like to thank you for listening to our proposal and wish you good luck in your endeavors of recruiting more drivers.